Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We're on question number 19 of the Grade 8 Gauss paper. A reminder, if you'd like a copy of this contest, you can click the very first link in the description. You'll get a copy to try this out for yourself. In the addition of three-digit numbers shown, the letters X and Y represent different digits. Alright, so we've got 300 xdy plus y100 xd3 is 1000 x100 and x-teen. The value of y minus x is. Now, if this were an older contest, and I don't mean further in the past, I mean something like a grade 10 or grade 11 paper, I might be suspicious that there was no way to actually work out x and y separately, and we'd have to figure out just what is x minus y. But for a grade 8 level contest, I think we could probably work out exactly what x and y have to be. Okay? How are we going to do this? Well, let's carefully analyze what they're giving us. They're giving us an addition with columns like we might have learned way back when we were just learning arithmetic. And so let's go through and analyze things. There's a particular column that's catching my eye. This one right here. X plus x is 2x. And I don't know if there's carryover or anything like that, but the answer here is a 1. There's no such thing as 2x ending in a 1. 2x is even. It has to end in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So we're going to focus on that as we copy our calculation. Another thing I've sort of just realized is, well, on top we've got one number, and on the bottom we've got the reverse number. So I could even just try and experiment and say, well, what happens when I do this? Well, 8 and 3 is 1. Carry the 1, we get a 5, then a 1, 1, 2, 5, 1. I'm not seeing it match up with a 1 and a 1 here, but how could I get a 1 here? And what would I need to do to get two letters, or two of the same number here? Just a thought. It just occurred to me that it's the one number is the other number reversed. But as I say, let's focus on this middle column here. 2x is even, and so it ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. But this column has a 1, which means, well, how can an even number end in a 1? It can't. That means we must have had a digit carried over. Now, there's lots of things you can carry. I mean, you can carry 3s and 9s, but not when there's two things being added up. If you have a whole list, all added up, then yeah, you can carry things like 6s and 8s. You can even carry things like 12s. But with two numbers, the only thing we're going to be carrying is either 1 or nothing. So that tells me that y plus 3 must be 10 plus x. It also tells me 2x plus 1 ends in a 1. And then what's going on in this column over here, the third column? Well, we've got our good friend 3y and x here. 3 plus y ends in an x. That's the same thing that happened over here. So, we've got sort of a question. Do we have a carryover from this column? Well, if we did, there'd be a 1 carried over, and we'd have 1 plus y plus 3 ends in x. But we know y plus 3 ends in x. How could y plus 4 end in an x? It would have to end in an x plus 1. So there can't be any carryover. And I like questions like this because it's just reasoning, working out things. Well, what are my possibilities? Well, no, that can't happen. Or, oh, well, it's got to be one of these two possibilities. I like a good question like this. So 2x plus 1 ends in a 1, and there's no carryover. So it's a single digit. So 2x plus 1 is 1. And we work that out. X has to be 0. But then that means that y plus 3 is just 10. So y has got to be 7. And we could double check that. 307 plus 703 is 1010. It really is. Get your calculator out if you need to. And what are they asking for? I think it was y minus x. Well, that's 7 minus 0. So that's going to be an answer of C. And there we go. And that was what, question number 19. I do, as I say, like a good question like this. I like it when the additions are all, they don't give you any digits, and it starts spelling things out. Like the grapes of wrath, or like the grapes of, and then it adds up to wrath. I always liked those in old puzzle books that I used to read. But yeah, enough about that question. Onwards to question number 20. I will see you guys for that in the next video.